Hello and welcome to the University of Chester's virtual campus tour. I'm Zoe and I am one of our HE advisors, and today we are going to be hearing all about the Faculty of Social Science. This includes the Departments of Geography and International Development, Psychology, Social and Political Science, Law and finally the Institute of Policing. Programmes within this faculty are based at our Parkgate Road campus, Warrington campus and the University Centre Shrewsbury. If you have any questions today, please feel free to ask them in the live chat. We have a whole host of students and staff ready and waiting to help you. Later, I'll be joined on the sofa by some of our students to hear about their experiences of living and studying at the University of Chester. We'll also have the chance to introduce you to our great campus facilities and examples of our accommodation. Firstly, let's go over to our academic staff who are going to show you the facilities that we use to teach our programmes.
Good afternoon, welcome to the University of Chester. And in particular to the Faculty of Social Science. My name is Martin Begg. I'm one of the Associate Deans in the faculty. I'm also the head of the Department of Geography and International Development. The faculty is one of the university's largest faculties, based largely here, all around us on the Parkgate Road campus. We also teach down at the University Centre Shrewsbury, where we teach psychology, and we have a presence at Warrington with the Institute of Policing. What I'm going to do now is show you around the Department of Geography and International Development, and then my colleagues will show you around other parts of the faculty. Welcome to the best building, which is the home of the Department of Geography and International Development, based essentially on the ground floor here in the building. One of the first things that strikes you when you walk into this building is this wonderful space we have here, the foyer area, which is a great place for students to meet informally and a great place for having those sorts of social interactions. But we also use it a little bit for informal teaching, so a place to meet tutors and talk about a piece of coursework or a project. You also start to get the sense of the way in which the department uses technology to infuse and inform its undergraduate teaching. And this box over here, the sandbox, just a simple example of that, which can be used to simulate contouring and contouring on different types of landscape as you move the sand and change the landscape. So most of our specialised teaching spaces are around the foyer area, and the other great thing about the building is all the staff offices are here, so that if ever you need to find somebody, we're very often just a few steps away from the foyer area. What I'm going to do now is take you into one of our laboratories, the Soils Laboratory, which is situated directly off the foyer area. So, welcome to our Soils Laboratory. This is a side of geography you don't tend to see in schools, but we're really well set up here at Chester to do aspects of physical geography in this sort of context, looking at soil, water quality, pollen analysis. What you see here set out on the table is a practical for the first year physical geographers, where they're looking at contamination of water and soil along the Mersey estuary, looking at copper and in particular microplastics, which of course have been in the news a lot lately. So if you're a human geographer, don't worry, don't be put off by all this sort of stuff, because you wouldn't necessarily be spending any time in here whatsoever. Essentially, in the first year, we introduce the physical geographers, in particular the hazard students, to these sorts of techniques, and then how much you go on to do at levels 5 and 6 of the degree in the second and third year really depends on what your specialist interests are. So welcome to a room that we call the map room. When I was a student, mapping was all hard copy, paper copy. These days, of course, the maps are essentially largely digital maps. Whether you're a human geographer or a physical geographer, using digital mapping is a key part of our undergraduate training. This space is a great space. We've got a number of spaces like this in the department that are great for small group teaching. I'll say more about that in a moment, but also that are free for students to use if they're working on pieces of coursework, either individually or in small group settings. Welcome to one of our seminar rooms. One of the distinctive features about the experience here at Chester is the way we use small group teaching. We have two modules in particular at the first and second year called tutorials modules, where the group size is guaranteed to be no more than 8 students to a group, meeting with a tutor and discussing a common curriculum every week in this sort of context, and some of the other rooms you've seen with a large table in the middle. And it's a very interesting module to begin with in the first year. The students are very shy, not really willing to make contributions. They all sit there quite quietly, but by week 2 or 3 the confidence has grown and suddenly you've got a group it's almost impossible to keep quiet. So the whole purpose of those modules is about trying to develop confidence in articulating a point of view and discussing it around a table with a group of fellow students and a member of staff. This room, as you can see, is set up for video conferencing, so we can now do hybrid delivery where we have some of the students in the room and some perhaps joining the seminar group online from an off-site location. So welcome to the last laboratory, which is the geomatics laboratory, and it's in here that we've got lots of specialist facilities related to geographical information systems, which has been a real growth area in geography, applied geography, whether it's human or physical. And we are keen to ensure that all our students of geography are exposed to GIS, particularly in the second year, an introductory course, and then going on to do more specialised work if they choose to specialise that in the third year. Why do we put the focus there? Well, because it's so important in terms of employability.
My name is Paul Taylor. I'm Head of Department for Social and Political Science here at the University of Chester. Welcome to Westminster Building. This is home to the Department of Social and Political Science, where we do most of our teaching. Our staff group's made up of around about 35 different academics, professors, senior lecturers, associate professors, research assistants and so on. If you want to spend a bit of time with me today, just have a look around our facilities. You're more than welcome to follow me. Many of our courses involve us working in small groups, whether that's practicing skills in programs such as counselling, or whether that's problem solving. And in order to do that, we work within those small groups in dedicated environments and locations, and this is just one of the spaces that we have in the department in Westminster Building. This is one of our syndicate rooms. Here, this is where our students and our staff undertake their problem solving and their skills training with one another. We use recording facilities so students can listen back, and also video facilities so they can watch their own practice. We've also got spaces such as these triad training rooms where students can work together in confidential spaces. Whilst many of our programmes work in small groups for their teaching sessions, of course there are lectures that go on in many of our programmes, and our face-to-face sessions take place in rooms just like this. We have lectures most weeks in the programme, but those lectures are often accompanied by smaller group seminars or tutorials.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kevin Hoshard and welcome to the School of Psychology. Here at Chester we are focused on our students. We put them at the heart of everything we do, and we ensure that you develop the skills and the knowledge base that you can take on and apply to any environment, and especially develop skills that will be useful to you in your future employment. Now I'm going to take you on a tour of some of our specialist facilities so you can see some of the equipment that you might use as a student with us. Here we have the Dynavision. This machine allows us to test hand-eye coordination and is frequently used to test for brain injury rehabilitation. As you can see, Sonali here is trying to hit the dots. It's trickier than it looks. And here we have two different types of eye tracker. First, a fixed one, which is looking at the pupils of the participant and mapping where the participant is looking on a fixed image. And here we actually have, I don't know if you can see me, I'm moving, we actually have a portable version which we allow students to wear so they move around and they can capture real life going on and they can see where people are looking in a dynamic environment. And here we have a cold presser machine. Yasmin here has her hand in water that is 3 degrees Celsius. That's quite cold and, as you can imagine, quite painful. We use this to test how long people can withstand painful stimuli. So if we're trying to do an intervention, for instance, develop something to help people with chronic pain, We could test in the lab whether or not people can withstand painful stimuli and if our intervention has worked. And here we have what we call the runway. This is essentially a sophisticated anticipation timer. A light runs along, and as you can see, there's a marker. This laser is reflected back off the floor. When I break the line of the laser, it will stop the light. So we can see whether I am fast enough to stop the light traveling at a particular speed when it's coming towards me. So let's try it. Let's see if I can. Okay, did I do it? I think I did. Anyway, now say I were to do this now without not having drank any coffee. Obviously I have, but if I then compare it to a moment when I have drank a lot of caffeine, will I be faster? Will I be slower? Will I be as accurate? This will tell us accurately if that's the case.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Price. I'm Head of Social Science here at University Centre Shrewsbury, overseeing many of the psychology programs. One of the unique aspects of our courses delivered here at Shrewsbury is the applied nature of all courses. And what that means is that we have very much hands-on learning, very interactive teaching and learning facilities, and smaller groups in order to encourage deeper learning. A lot of the teaching and learning on our courses happens in this very room, where we have part of the room as a lecture theatre or a classroom and part with computers. And what we tend to do in most of our modules is deliver a little bit of a lecture as well as having our students put things into practice by completing workshops and tasks on the computers. Within our lab spaces, you can use a lot of very psychology-specific experimental software as well as equipment. So, for example, we use BioPack in a lot of our biological research. We have some VR headsets to gain experiences of what other people are feeling and are doing. And we, of course, have SPSS, which is our software that we use within our research methods. That's just a short list of some of our psychology-specific software.
Hi there, my name's Caroline Chappell and I'm a senior lecturer in the law school here. I've been here for about 10 years and my specialisms are tort law and medical law and ethics. And the room we're in, which is within the law school, is the mooting room. And this is a mock courtroom with a witness box and a bench and where the defendant and claimant will sit, and when we're having mooting competitions, we'll have an actual local judge to rule on who has won, and there's competition nationwide on that. We also have in-house competitions between our own students. Mooting is something that a lot of students enjoy. You don't have to do it, but it does develop your presentational skills, and these days in a competitive working environment, presentational skills are really important, and we embed them in the undergraduate course as well. So now here we are. This is a seminar room within the law school. The law school is named after Elgin Edwards, who is a very famous criminal judge in the local area and gave a lot of support to the law school when the law school was starting up. He would allow students to sit with him and marshal, etc., which other judges do now. Now, he's sadly passed, but the building is named after him, and this is one of the seminar rooms. Now, the way we tend to deliver content are lectures, which tend to take place on main campus, which is about a 7-minute walk away, and then you drill down into that material in more depth in seminars, in small group sessions, in rooms like this, both here and on campus. The great thing about this building, not only does it look great, this lovely Victorian building, it's also got a common room with computers and tea and coffee, so you can hang out away from main campus if you want to, and it does give our students a real sense of belonging to a law school, an actual entity. So this is the Victorian bit, campus is more modern, and you'll be taught both here and on campus should you come here.
Hi, I'm Jeff Elvey and I'm the head of the Institute of Policing here at the University of Chester. I'm a retired police officer having worked for Cheshire Constabulary for 30 years, mainly in a variety of criminal investigation roles such as heading up the Force Development Team, the Force Intelligence Bureau, managing homicide investigations and managing covert policing. My last job was the head of investigative skills training, which led me to come and work in the university here, where I'm now in charge of the policing department. The policing department are based in this building behind me, which is Blatchford Hall, together with crime trainers from Cheshire Constabulary and also the uniform trainers from the Force who teach on our police constable degree apprenticeship. This is the room downstairs here in the Blatchford Hall, and this pairs up as two things. It's one, the plenary room for the immersive learning suite, which I'll show you later, but secondly it also is used as a courtroom. So we can see we have a court facility here where the magistrates would sit, and a box there where you would be able to give your evidence. How this works in reality is that we do lots of work around decision making. We make you make decisions around realistic policing incidents, and then we give you an opportunity to give your evidence and to be cross-examined in a real-life situation.
Hello, I'm Simon Price. I'm one of the lecturers here at the Institute of Policing. I'm a retired police officer, having served 30 years with Cheshire Police, and I've worked here since 2015. Here we are at the custody suite. On your programmes, you'll be taught about powers of arrest. One of the things that happens when a person is arrested is they're brought into the police station or the local custody suite, and there a sergeant will decide if their arrest is lawful and if they can be detained at the police station in accordance with things like this, the codes of practice, which deal with how a person should be dealt with when they're arrested. You'll have the opportunity to explain the circumstances of the arrest to the sergeant, just as you would in a real life situation. Here we are in one of the syndicate rooms, and you'll be split into small groups during a Hydra exercise, maybe of 4 or 5 students. And as you can see from the inject on the screen, maybe via the printer or via a telephone call, you'll be fed information, and it's up to you as a team, and maybe you as the team leader, to make decisions and record them using the national decision making model that you've been taught on the programme.
Hello again. This is the Hydra facility, or immersive learning. This was invented by one of our friends and colleagues, Professor Jonathan Craig, who worked for the Metropolitan Police. It was designed many years ago, and it was a tool that was invented to help police officers make decisions in very, very complex and sometimes challenging environments. The idea behind this in this control room is that we can send in injects, we can send in statements, we can send in anything we want to, telephone calls to the students who are sat in one of the syndicate rooms, as you can see down there. We can send them information and they can then manage the situation, making decisions about how they will progress the investigation. They can ask for information, they can ask for resources, and we can manage that from within this environment. So really, it's a good way of consolidating learning and putting all that theory into practice.
We're here outside number 3 and number 2 College Close, 2 properties which we use as part of the programme. You'll be taught theoretical things in the classroom, like house-to-house investigations, for example, searching a property, dealing with crime scenes, but there's nothing better than actually coming here to one of these 2 properties and putting your newly acquired skills into action. If you look around this little area, it's a cul-de-sac. Nothing better, again, from an investigative perspective, than to have properties in the area where we can talk practically about the things that you would do if something happened at a property like this. Here we are inside the lounge of number 3 College Close, and as you can see, the situation in front of us is that the neighbours have reported seeing a body on the floor of the lounge. Your job, using the learning and theory that you've acquired on the programme, will be to come here as a first responder, come up with some hypotheses about what might have happened, conduct an investigation and record your decisions so they'll stand scrutiny at a later stage.
I am now joined on the sofa by our student president, Elle.
Hi everyone.
And we also have John here, who is one of our law students.
Hi guys, how are you?
But before I start quizzing them about their life at the University of Chester, let's take a look at our university life tours at Parkgate Road campus, our University Centre Shrewsbury and the Warrington campus.
Hi, my name's Kirsty and I study history. Today I'm going to show you around the University of Chester's Parkgate Road campus. Come and have a look around. Parkgate Road is where you'll find many of the university's central facilities, with the main library, sports facilities, student accommodation and the Students' Union all located on campus. It's everything you need, all in one place. In the centre of Binks you'll find our info point, filled with approachable staff here to offer you help and guidance whenever you need it. We also have our brasserie and grab-and-go Starbucks, perfect for that time you want to take a break. Next we'll head on over to the library. Seabourn Library is the main university's library and it is in the heart of the Parkgate Road campus. As well as a variety of books, journals and online resources, the library also offers bookable study pods, perfect for group or individual study. There's also 24-hour access computer suites, perfect for those late-night study sessions. The library is also staffed with subject-specific librarians that are on hand to help with whatever you need. There's also a cafe downstairs, ideal for that well-earned study break. Opposite the library, we have bookable study spaces available for both staff and students. You just book it online and then you have a guaranteed workspace. Chester Student Union is also located on campus. Our students elect who they'd like to be their officers and they then represent the students' voice about issues inside or outside the university. The Students' Union is here to support you on campus, whether you're looking for guidance or help with societies. I'm part of the History Society and I found it so helpful to make friends here on campus. The SU is a fun, relaxed space. We have lots of different places for staff and students to eat on campus. Our gourmet burger house offers a selection of mouth-watering New York-style burgers, all made with delicious, locally sourced ingredients. Next to the Students' Union, we have the Hub, which has an imaginative menu with lots of different meals, whatever your dietary requirements are. What's even better is that the Hub has its own wok bar and pizzeria, and all of the dishes are made with fresh, natural ingredients. If you fancy meeting up with friends on campus, then the bar is the perfect place to do just that. Whether you're in the mood to try out a new cocktail or just unwind and play a game of pool, the relaxed, chilled atmosphere makes this the ideal place to hang out. Parkgate Road has many sports facilities on campus. This is the fitness suite where there are qualified personal trainers here to offer you help and guidance whenever you need it. We have a variety of different membership options available to suit all sorts of different lifestyles and budgets. The fitness suite has over 100 pieces of equipment and is also where you'll find our 25-metre swimming pool, spin studio and dance studio. At the bottom of our campus, you'll find a multifunctional sports hall that staff and students can alter the space of depending on the type of sport they want to play. Near to the sports hall, we have the floodlit AstroTurf, used frequently by our sports teams for sports such as hockey or lacrosse. We also have a floodlit 3G mugger pitch, which is great for sports such as football or rugby. Next to this, we have the 60-metre running tracks and both tennis and squash courts. And finally, our Parkgate Road campus is home to the Careers and Employability Department. They are on hand to give you help with your career planning, whether that's mock interviews or looking over your CV. It's for people that are currently here or graduates for up to 2 years after graduation. Thank you for joining me on this tour around Parkgate Road campus. We hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Orla Jones, a second-year student of musical theatre at the University Centre Shrewsbury. Right now, I'm outside the Guildhall, which is our main lecture and study area. It's on the banks of the River Severn and right next to the town centre. Let's go take a closer look. As you enter the Guildhall, you come to our business lounge. And this is the perfect place for students to meet up, just to hang out or to do group work. This area also doubles up as our reception space, where you can come to host conferences or even performances that students can network at. The next room I'm going to take you to is one of our most versatile rooms in Guildhall, and it's just this way. We're really lucky here at UCS that we're taught in smaller class sizes. So when you become part of this fun-loving, close-knit community of staff and students, you'll find that this is our largest lecture room. It can be used for a range of different things, such as our Freshers' Fair at the beginning of the year, open day events, and extracurricular activities such as yoga and dance. I've even done a few performances in this room, such as the Christmas Cabaret and a few assessments with my course. Just round the corner is the library, another really well-used space, so we'll go there now. One of the most useful resources in this library are, of course, our friendly and helpful library staff. You will all get to know them by name, and you can drop them an email with any inquiries you have at any time. One of the most perfect spaces that I love is the quiet study area, perfect for independent work when you just want to get things done. The library also offers bookable pods, which are ideal for group presentations that you all need to practice. We also have all our books and journals available right at our fingertips. They are kept up to date and are perfect for everything that any course here needs. We also have computers available for any online work you need to do, and you can also request and book other journals and articles from any other campus. Another great space in the Guildhall is our open access 24-hour suite. As the name suggests, it's open 24/7 and you can come here day or night with your student card for access. We have computers and printing facilities, and it's a perfect place to get that work done. We also have a vending area just down the back where you can get small snacks and hot drinks to get you through that study work. Or if you want something a wee bit more substantial, you can nip next door to our cafe. Not only is this the perfect place to meet socially, you can get any little snacks for in between lectures served by our fabulous Bean Cafe staff. This is a great place, and it's made even better by this little piano sitting in the corner here. One of our students missed his keyboard from back home so much, he asked the student union if they could have a piano in the cafe. It's here for anyone to play at any time. Speaking of the student union, their lounge is upstairs, so let's go check that out. This is our student wellbeing lounge, where you can come to get away and play pool or play darts, but it's also a hub for so much more. Here you have access to our Student Futures team, where you can get all sorts of advice for anything to do with your student wellbeing. As a UCS student, you also have access to the teams at the University of Chester, where you can get help and advice on things such as work-based learning, studying abroad, a university job, or even learning a language for free. As well as this space, we also have the Student Union's Lounge. We are a part of Chester Union, but we elect a vice president here every year to run activities. We have lots of different sporting events and different teams and societies that you can join here and find out everything that the Student Union do for us, such as the end of year ball at the end of the year that everyone looks forward to. We also have different societies that you can join already existing, or if there's something you're really interested in, you can ask the Vice President and create your own society with a group of your friends. Speaking of all those sports events, let's go and check out the gym facilities that we have here. So this is our awesome gym facility, and there is no slacking here at UCS, as you can book personal training sessions too. This is used by our health and exercise students, as well as available for any other student or staff member. The last place I want to show you is the courtyard, so let's go. This is the courtyard. Right in the middle of the university building, it has easy access from either the students' lounge or the cafe. There's also some extra sports equipment here if you feel like having a shop. This garden was entered by University Centre Shrewsbury in the Shrewsbury Flower Show, a well-known show that's put on every year in the town. That is the end of our tour of the University Centre Shrewsbury. I hope you enjoyed and I look forward to welcoming you here soon. See you later.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm studying mental health nursing at the University of Chester. This is our Warrington campus. Today I'd like to show you some of the facilities we have here. So we'll start our tour in the Martin building. This is the biggest teaching block we have in the Warrington campus, and this is where you'll find places like the lecture theatre. Here you will find the central information point, our reception and other services such as finance, careers, work-based learning, to name a few. So now I'm going to take you over to the sports hall so we can have a look in there. So now we're in the sports hall. In the sports hall you can play a variety of different sports including five-a-side, basketball, netball and badminton. In the spring we do varsity games against other universities and it's a great atmosphere for everybody to come and watch. We also have a gym that is available to students and the public. There are different packages available to suit everybody, including pay-as-you-go, monthly, term time and yearly plans. If you sign up as a member, you can access 2 free personal one-to-one sessions with a qualified fitness instructor, a health and safety induction, unlimited 6-week fitness programme, health and fitness assessments and unlimited access to exercise classes. If you'd like to come with me, now we'll go to the Forest School. This is our hidden gem on campus. This is used by the PGCE early years students to help with their studies. Our grounds and garden team work hard to make it friendly for our animal friends. They have planted a variety of different plants, made water systems available to encourage frogs, hedgehogs and honeybees. Actions like these help towards our Green Chester approach. We're going to head back to the Martin building now, through to the garden dining room. This is our garden dining room where you can catch up with friends and get food or drink between lectures. In here you can choose from a variety of hot and cold food, sandwiches, tea, coffee and cold drinks. Next door to the garden dining room you have the cost cutter shop where you can pick up your everyday essentials. Let's not forget the Starbucks coffee shop, the busiest place on campus. In here you can grab a coffee to go or meet up with friends for a sweet treat. Now I'm going to take you to the Students' Union office. Here at the PARKGATE Hall, you'll find our Students' Union Vice President. They're here to support you and be your voice while you're a student with us. They also host lots of events and activities around the campus. Whether you're a commuting student or you live on campus, there's plenty of places like this common room to meet up and hang out with your friends. Now we're going to head over to the Broomhead Library. Before we get to the library, this is our Bar 2010. This is a great place to go after university and hang out with your friends. They serve a range of alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. We also have things like live bands, karaoke, open mic nights, and lots of other things you can do. We also show the live games on the TV if you're interested. This is our on-site library. In here you'll find everything that you need to prepare for exams and also for your assignments. One of these things is subject-specific librarians that can help you with your studies. There are lots of books and resources available. You can also request for books to come over from other campuses within the university. The Broomhead Library is divided into different colored zones. The further up you go, the quieter it will get. Students have full access to PC areas as well as being able to book study rooms. Perfect for practicing presentations, hosting meetings or escaping the outside world so you can meet that deadline. It's also worth looking out for the study skills room on the second floor. The last thing I want to tell you about today is our shuttle bus service. Our shuttle bus runs from Monday to Friday all year round and it's free for students to use. It'll run from our Warrington campus up to our Chester campuses. And that's everything from me. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you and see you soon.
Okay, so the first question I have for you both is why did you choose the University of Chester?
Well, I chose the University of Chester because I come from a very small island in the Caribbean, and being here at the University of Chester gave me that sort of community feel. I felt like I was able to integrate quite well. Seeing faces more than once made that even much more easier for me to say, okay, I feel at home here at the University of Chester.
Yeah, I think I chose the University of Chester because when I was looking on UCAS about what I wanted to study and the kind of content that I wanted to see in a geography degree, it just had everything that I wanted to learn. I wasn't quite sure whether I wanted to do a human element or a physical element, and it had both, and it allowed me to choose halfway through the degree. And then when I came to an open day, I just got here and I was like, this is the place for me. Everyone was so friendly. I just felt like I could settle in and feel at home really quickly, and that was really important to me.
Nice. It's nice to hear that you both had that same feeling of feeling at home and feeling like it's where you were meant to be. Lovely. How did you find studying at university level when you first actually started?
It was intense. I think it seems like a big jump, but the staff are all really helpful and they want you to achieve the best, so they're there from the moment that you start at university to the moment that you finish, making sure that you learn the tips and tricks. And study skills personally really helped me just push over that sort of 2-1 to top level grading on some of my papers. So that would be sort of, I'd say.
Yeah, transitioning from A levels or to university level, it was quite different because at A levels you're not really doing much referencing and all that sort of stuff. And being a law student, we've got our own special referencing, make life much more harder for us. But like Elle said, the study skills and the library staff helped with that. So being able to teach you how to reference certain pieces of case law, legislation, whatever the case may be, just having them to hand made it much more easier to transition from school to university.
Nice, yes, so it was really the support that you needed to be able to make that next step into your education.
Yeah.
Perfect. Have either of you used any of the support services at the university at all?
Yeah, I've had access to my PAT, which is your personal academic tutor. Your personal academic tutor is basically the person that you will go to from the inception of university to the end, even after you've graduated. There you go to for your references, once you've graduated, for job perspectives and things like that. Having a PAT is just really great because they help you with things such as your academics, or if it's not academically focused, they help you with things like personal issues. If they can't help you personally, they refer you to other services that might be able to assist you further. Just touching back on that referencing bit, it is very, very important that you keep in touch with your PATs, know who your PATs are, because you don't want to be sending an email to someone asking for a reference at the end of the day and they're like, who are you? You know what I mean? If you just knock and say, hi, I'm here, just have a quick chat. It doesn't have to be about academics, it could just be how you're feeling, how it is you're taking on the course, and just everything like that just really helps you out, once you've graduated and whilst you are at university.
Yeah, like an open door kind of situation where you're able to go and talk to anyone if you need the support there, but also you can book one-to-ones as well, like you're saying, when you do actually have your meetings. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Similar to John, my PAT had a huge impact on my time as a student. I think the biggest impact they probably had on me was I was struggling a lot with mental health, and I'm very open about that. And I turned up at PAT's door having just been whisked away to hospital with a panic attack. And they said, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, I had a PAT meeting. I had to come and see you. And they were like, no, we're going to Student Futures. We're going to Wellbeing right now. And they took me to Wellbeing, supported me the whole way there. It's fine. And then accessing the Wellbeing service at the university really did change my life. And that sounds like quite dramatic, but without their support and their guidance in helping me sort of lay out everything that I had going on in my brain and giving me those coping mechanisms and coaching me through how to use those, I would not be sat in this position right now. I would not have had the confidence to run for president. Who knows where I would be, but accessing those services, really, they're amazing and they want the best for you, and everyone will rally around you when you need it the most. And I think that was so important to me, that when I did need it the most, my PAT was there, the Wellbeing support services were there, and that was really important.
Yeah, lovely. And have either of you used the Careers and Employability Service when thinking about what you want to do with your futures at all?
Well, at the law school we have a designated careers advisor, and it sort of liaised with one of our lecturers, and through that I had the opportunity of going down to London for a law event at Lincoln's Inn. It's this very prestigious inn where all law aspiring barristers and solicitors tend to go, and just got the opportunity to meet judges, barristers and people who are already established in the career, and having that sort of helped me to understand more as to what it is that I'm going into, and potentially what is it, the work that I need to put in. So that was really, really helpful.
Yeah, we had staff from the Careers and Employability team come into our lectures from first year all the way through. They kept popping in every so often just to remind us that, you know, they're there if you need to use them. And I think they became much more useful to me in my final year when I was still deciding, did I want to run for president, did I want to go and do a master's, did I want to go out into the wider world and get a graduate scheme, and they really helped me lay out all my options so I could sort of see everything and plan for every eventuality really. And I think even now as a graduate I'm still using them more than I probably did when I was a student, which is really good that they're still there for us after we graduate. They've helped me apply for scholarships and do those practice decision tests or whatever they are, so they have a range of skills and they're so useful.
Did either of you join any clubs or societies as well? Did they maybe help you with your experience at the university?
I joined the Tennis Society and I'm a part of the Mooning Club at the law school. Being part of the Tennis Society helped quite a lot. It helped me to integrate, meet people, like-minded people, people who are from different courses, and just see the different perspective of different students. And being a part of the Mooning Club also helps me with my public speaking, that I'm able to do this here today. And just being at the university, being able to have those opportunities in itself is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I was part of netball. I played netball since I was little, so to be able to come to university and continue that and play at such a high level as well was really important to me. But I also joined the Geography Society my final year, which opened my eyes to sort of sides of the stuff I was interested in, but in a whole new way. So that was really important to me, to have the fun side of the academic stuff through the society. So I'm really glad that I did join that, because it allowed you to meet so many more people and make so many more friends, which is so important.
If you could describe the university in 3 words, try and get to 3, which 3 would you choose?
I would say, wait, I had them and they just went blank. Cut. Jesus Christ. Oh, that doesn't help. Do you want to go first?
I can go first,
you can go first.
I would definitely say supportive, dedicated, and it's not quite a word, but it's a phrase, full of opportunities.
Can you please expand on those a little bit? I like those a lot. Yeah, give us a little bit more.
Yeah, so I'd say supportive because I think from your department to the student union to the support services, everyone wants you to succeed. Everybody will help you reach the goals that you want to reach. And for me, that was really important, especially in terms of my mental health and accessing the wellbeing services. The support there was second to none for me. I'd say dedicated because, similar to supportive, the staff put the time into you, and they'll have the one-to-one meetings with you to make sure you're on track for what you want to achieve. And even the conversations that you have with the staff at the cafes when you're getting your coffee, you can see how dedicated they are to helping you succeed. So those little conversations as well, you just feel like part of a community the whole time. And I'd say full of opportunities because you've got the Students' Union, you've got society, sports, volunteering, careers opportunities. The list is endless, and just to be able to throw yourself into what you think is right for yourself will just propel you into great things.
Can you add to that? Anything different or anything similar?
Yeah, I could say, for three things that I'd use to describe the university would be interactive, very student focused, and quite energetic. And the reason why I say energetic, it seems very weird to use that word to describe a university, but it's very energetic in the sense that no matter where you are on campus, you always feel that vibe. Like, I can just touch on what Elle said, when you go to the cafes and stuff like that, there's always a smile and you always feel like you're a part of the university. And it's very student focused, because a lot of the things that they tend to do here at the university is to see that you as a student excel the best way you can. For example, the careers and employability services, you have that past graduation. So even up to 2 years after graduation, you can still stay in contact with them, and they'll be able to help you build your CV, or even if you're in a career already, just help you to just build up on what you've already learned in your career. And I think that's very, very important.
Yeah, exactly. I love the idea that everything that you've both said really does bring back to that community idea as well. I know that I really appreciate going to pick up my Starbucks on campus, and the person who's giving me my Starbucks already knows what I want and knows exactly how I like it. Even though they've obviously had to make coffee for so many people that day, it is just nice to kind of have friends that you don't see every day, but somehow they just remember who you are.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad because I don't know their name. But yeah, lovely. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about Chester City Centre? Any places you like to go, any experiences that you've had, things that you like to do?
I would say I'm a bit of a coffee connoisseur. I love coffee. I think being in Chester, there are a lot of coffee shops, Independence, there are the well-known coffee shops like Starbucks, Costa, Cafe Nero, but one in particular is the John T. Goat. It's really good because, for example, myself, I'm lactose intolerant, so I tend to want to go somewhere where I know there will be an option of different varieties of milk. And having that really makes it's very important for me. And just being able to get around the different coffee shops, for example, Story House. The Story House, they offer free coffees and teas for students, so that's one of the perks of being a student. And also, just on the back of that, like, we have a lot of restaurants, we have a lot of bars and stuff like that. And because the city itself is very small, it's very close-knit, so you can hop from one side of the street to another side of the street, and there's always something or somewhere to go, whether it be a bar, a coffee shop, a restaurant. That's one of the most important things about being in this city for me.
Yeah, similar to John, but also not similar. I'm a bit of a cocktail connoisseur. So I frequent the bars a lot, and there's a lot of them. I'm pretty sure there's something like 100 bars inside the Chester walls, which is really good. But like John said, everything is within walking distance, like 5 to 10 minute walk from one end to the other. You've got all the high street shops that you could need. You've got restaurants, bars, cafes. And I think just for me, having everything so close by was a reassurance to me that I wouldn't become overwhelmed with sort of the big city, because it's just the right size, that you've got everything that you could need. So that was a big pull factor for me. And also the walk around the Chester walls is really nice as well.
It's a great place to take any family friends that come to see you, isn't it? If you've got nothing else to do, at least you know you can go to a coffee shop and take a lovely walk around the walls. Have you got any advice for any students watching today, anyone who hasn't yet made the decision about what they want to do in their next steps up to university or anything like that?
I'll go. I think my advice would be weigh up all your options. I'd definitely say if you've not been to an open day yet, come to an open day, and really grill the people at the university about what you want to know. I think I often thought when I was looking around universities that I didn't know what I wanted to ask, and then I'd got home and regretted not asking it, and all these questions would come to me. And actually, don't be afraid to go back and email and send those questions in an email to the people to make sure that it's the right fit for you. As much as you fit into the university's got to be right for you, and you're going to know straight away. And with Chester, I knew straight away, as soon as I walked onto campus, I knew that this is where I was supposed to be. So weigh up all your options, and then when you do get to university, the University of Chester, throw yourself into everything that's put in front of you, because it's the best way to make friends, it's the best way to grow yourself as a person, it's the best way to learn about other people's outlooks on life, and that's the most important thing, I think, leaving university, that you've come as a person, you're leaving as someone completely different, in a good way. But I think that would be my advice, definitely.
Lovely.
I think I personally would advise that you have, similar to what Elle said, just like have an open mind when you are looking at university, and sort of look at your options and weigh it up to see whether or not would this fit my particular needs, and see whether or not, if you do go to that university, particularly the University of Chester, that you are able to interact well with the staff, to be able to make friends, because one of the key aspects of going to university, besides getting a degree, is being able to interact with people and make friends, because you don't want to be here throughout your entire student career and not like interact with people, because you never know exactly who you're gonna meet out in the outside world, and that person that you've met whilst you're at uni might be able to help you out whilst you are a graduate. So that's one of the key things I would advise students to look at.
Accommodation is a really important aspect of your time at university and something that a lot of you have asked to see. So let's take a look at some examples.
At Chester, all university-owned or partnership accommodation is located on or close by the Parkgate Road campus. It's just a stone throw away from the city centre and within walking distance to our academic sites. We offer a range of accommodation types and different styles, from small self-contained houses to large traditional halls of residence. So whether it's a shared kitchen or studio, or ensuite or shared bathroom that you're after, we have something to suit you. We also offer full board, semi-catered and self-catered accommodation. So if cooking isn't your strong point, why not let us do it for you and dine at the hub? There are also a range of partnership and private sector accommodation options in and around Chester for you to choose from, like the brand new student accommodation complex Tudor Place, located just a short 5-minute walk from the Parkgate Road campus. At Shrewsbury, our safe and secure halls are just a 5-minute walk from the University Centre Shrewsbury campus and are only a few steps away from local food producers, convenience stores and shopping centres. Mardle House offers self-catered and ensuite residences, and our new purpose-built accommodation, the Tannery, also offers self-catered ensuite rooms. These are single rooms with a shared kitchen with dining and lounge facilities. At our Warrington campus, our on-campus accommodation couldn't be more convenient. Academic support and leisure facilities are only a short walk from where you'll be living, and you really get the most out of the strong community feel that our Warrington campus is known for. We have 2 options of accommodation available: self-catered standard rooms and a small number of self-catered ensuite rooms. And, if you'd prefer not to cook every day, you could take advantage of one of the university's meal schemes, which offers healthy meals at a reduced cost. If you're thinking of commuting, we also offer overnight self-catered accommodation.
So what types of university accommodation have you lived in over the years? If there's different, that's fine.
In my first year, I've lived in student-owned, university-owned accommodation, and I currently live in a private rent accommodation with other students, of course. But for me personally, I would say I really enjoyed my time in the university-owned accommodation. Reason being, if I have an issue, I can call up at any hours of the night, you know, to the porters or anything, and someone will come around and sort something out or put something in place to be sorted out. As opposed to being in a private accommodation, you ring your landlord, it probably don't pick up, and you have to wait maybe a few hours or a day or 2 before someone comes out. And just being in a university-owned accommodation in your first year, you get to meet other students and you get to integrate with other people. If you were sort of shy and you didn't have any sort of plans of making friends, once you get to university and you're in a university-owned accommodation, you meet people, you get to chat, you tend to go out for drinks, whatever the case may be. And I think that was quite useful, being in university-owned accommodation here at Chester. Yeah.
And have you lived in accommodation that was self-catered, catered? Did you have your own bathroom? What kind of setup did you have when you were in student?
I was self-catered because I have allergies and stuff like that. And I really, really enjoyed that. The only thing I didn't really enjoy about being self-catered is having to cook for myself. But other than that, I think being self-catered was the best choice for me. Because if I don't feel like making something to eat that day, I don't have to. If I want to get something, I just pop down, make a quick bowl of cereal, whatever the case may be. And with the catered service, because I work for the university in the catered service, you know, there's like times, and maybe you can't be bothered getting up out of bed to go at that time. So having the variety of services available is quite great, because you can either do semi-catered where you have your own meals and you go for meals, or you can do fully catered, you go for your meals all the time, or self-catered where you just make it all yourself. And I think that's really great that we have that service available here.
Yeah, because you might also meet people that need to be forced to get out of bed and go and eat the breakfast. So for some people, that's why they might choose that, because they're like, I need to get up, get some fresh air, get my breakfast, and I don't have to cook it.
Yeah.
And yourself?
So I stayed in university-owned accommodation in Fisher House in my first year. All I wanted when I came to university was my own bathroom, and Fisher House had ensuite bathrooms, so I wasn't too fussed whether I had fully catered, park-gated or self-catered accommodation, and Fisher House is fully catered. And actually it was really good for me because, like you just said, I needed to get out of bed, I needed to have my breakfast in the morning to set me up for the day, and it really did force me to get up out of bed. With that being said though, you still have microwave facilities, you still have kettle facilities and small kitchen facilities as well if you needed it in your fully catered accommodation. And that for me was really important because I, on a Sunday, had a part-time job, so just being able to make myself a pot noodle just before I went, that kind of stuff, you can still do all that and then know that you're coming home to a meal that's cooked for you. And there's so many options as well. I think now more than ever, you know, you can have a fresh pizza made to order, or you could have like a wok box or something like that they make to order, which is really good.
Have you got any advice for students that would be currently looking into accommodation? Any kind of top tips about what to look for when you're looking into your accommodation?
Top tip number one, I probably only have two, but top tip number one is to ensure that you know exactly where you would like to be situated. For example, if you are at the PARKGATE Road campus, you need to make sure, or you should ideally look for places that are locale to PARKGATE Road campus, so you're not really kerfuffling in the morning trying to rush to a lecture. And tip number two is just ensuring that you, when you do select your accommodation, that you do try and integrate with your housemates, because they're going to be your housemates for a whole year, and you don't want to be sort of a hermit crab in a big house just on your own, because it's not really, like Elle has mentioned, it's not really good in terms of mental health. You want to be able to get out there and just interact with people, even if it's just a small conversation while you're making a cup of tea or just grabbing a bowl of cereal. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, definitely. I think my top tips would be, you don't need to bring 8 plates, 7 pans, and you don't need to do it because you'll bring 8 plates, someone else will bring 8 plates, and then you've got 16 plates. So, you know, just be mindful that you will come to share things when you arrive, because you will make friends with people that you live with, and you will share, but maybe label your milk sometimes, because that can often go run about. But yeah, my top tips would just be to plan, but don't like over plan. Don't be too prepared, because then you'll end up sending your mum and dad or whoever home with half the stuff that you brought because there's no room for it. Definitely.
I'd also label cheese, because that's expensive.
Yeah.
Cheese is very expensive, and I didn't realise that until I started having to buy my own cheese when I went to university. It's like, wow, I shouldn't be eating cheese anymore. Okay, thank you very much for being here today, Elle.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, and thank you very much, John, for sharing your student experience with us as well today.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
That brings us to the end of our virtual campus tour today. We hope you've had a real insight into the University of Chester and what it's like to be a student here. However, if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to pop over to our website. You can speak to our students there via Unibuddy. So if you do have any questions, ask away. And finally, from me, thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you very soon.